All right, good morning, everybody. It is, give me a second. It is Tuesday morning. It is 6:56. And I got my first Furls Hook, and I wanted to share that with y'all. Um, I got it yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to do a video because I've been watching my granddaughter, and it comes very well packed for protection. Let's drop some paper. All right. And I use Ola Joe's affiliate link to purchase this. So I started like we went to where did we go? When we were coming home from Maryland Sheep and Wool, me, Ashley, and we went to this yarn store. They had moved across the street into the old bank, and they had converted it into the yarn store. And the vault was like their most expensive yarns, like cashmere and other very expensive Pacuna, very expensive fibers and yarns was in their vault, as well as the hooks, needles, and stuff like that. And I can't think of the name of them to save my life. Um, I didn't buy anything in there because I was like, I could probably find it cheaper online. I mean, they got to do their business, they got to make money, but some of that stuff was marked up crazy prices. But they also had wools from Scotland, England, and other places that you normally don't see. I think they had like Jameson and Smith, like all of it, and then they had some other Scottish wools and stuff. But yeah, I was like, I might be able to find these hooks cheaper online, and yeah, but it didn't. I felt like they should have had some test yarn in the area where they had the Furls hooks so that you could at least try, crocheting with them. Like I picked them up and stuff like that, but you really don't know how it's gonna work until you crochet with it. I did buy some notions from there. I bought like I don't even know where it's at. Some pencils and stuff from there. But anyway, here's my hook. It is a what would your hook look like? It's a streamline hook. Did they put the size on the box now? So this is the one that I got. It's a H because I use H's a lot. I don't even remember what this one is called. It's a 5.0 millimeter, and it's one of the resin hooks. But I don't know what it looks like under the light. It's a little glittery. Okay, so it's an H hook. So I'm pointing the camera down. Let's see if I can flip y'all around. So close your eyes. Oh no, hold it. All right, is that the right way? Yeah. Okay. About a cup of ice water. Move, close this. All right, so this is the last skein of yarn. It's going into my grandson's blanket. I'm at the home stretch with that, and this is some Karen cake. It either lime brand. I don't remember. The label is somewhere. Who knows? So yeah, let's see. We can do a bush stitch scarf. with this. Mm-hmm. Not want to go through that. I didn't do these that tight. Here we go. Once I get it started, it'll be a lot faster. But so far so good. Yeah, this is the only skein I have left of this color. I think I made divine hats with the other ones, and this one was what left for either. Was using it in blankets. I'm probably using it in blankets. I don't remember. I make so much stuff throughout the year. So what I'm doing is skipping every 2 chains, and I'm doing like a half shell stitch, which is 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the same chain. And you can fudge the ends. That's why I always use a long tail. So if I need to add a stitch or two at the end, I can. And I'm going up under 2 of the loops because it kind of makes its own border, this stitch, if you go up under 2 of the loops and don't use the back stitch. Like if I was going to be doing, like usually when I do scarves, if I'm not going to use this pattern, um excuse me, then I would oh god, what is going on? Oh, because it's early in the morning and I ain't had my coffee yet. But normally, if I'm going to be doing a scarf that's like a straight pattern or something, I would go into the back loop to make this edge nice and neat and straight. But the, I've always been called it the bush stitch when that was taught to me um, by Miss Wiggins when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune. It was similar to a stitch that my grandmama used to make, but she would do 3 double crochet, chain 2, um, and she would slip stitch instead of doing the half double crochet or the single crochet in the same stitch. When Miss Wiggins, when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, and we would have these nights in labor and delivery where it was just nothing to do, boring. and she got all of us girls crocheting because all I knew how to do was single crochets to do stuff, and for making doilies and stuff. And so she taught us how to read patterns and took off from there, which was a lot of fun, especially at nights when it was boring. There wasn't nobody in there having no babies, and or you had ladies who it wasn't their first baby, so they were more calm and they knew what to expect, and it wasn't all that drama. Some of them first time mamas trying to get sympathy from people with all that hooting and hollering. And Miss Wiggins was like, this ain't the place, because I had developed a allergy to the smell of childbirth. I would actually get physically ill, and so I ended up being transferred down to physical therapy. It this it was weird. The scent of hot, fresh blood makes me throw up and feel faint. And I'm a country girl. I'm used to animals and all this other stuff, but it's just human childbirth was causing me some serious issues. So I had to transfer me down to physical therapy. And I loved working in labor and delivery. All right, so we're almost at the end. Let's see if I can pick up some speed once I get this first row done. But yeah, once you get to the end, like you see, I'm gonna have 2 chains left over at the end. But that's okay, because we can always pick those apart, or I can fudge it and I can add a stitch and go into that stitch, or I could just go into the last stitch and do another shell. Who's gonna know that my count was off? Nobody, not unless you tell them. I mean, if it's the crochet police got something to say about it, then I could tell them, hey, you do you, boo. You don't be worrying about what I'm doing. It ain't hurting nobody, and nobody can't tell. And the garment is still gonna be it's still gonna be a nice scarf that's gonna keep somebody warm. So the count was off at the end. I can always fix it. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. See, there's only 2 stitches left at the end, and then you have your beginning slip stitch. So all you gotta do is loosen that slip stitch. There we go. Now, if I wanted to, I could just loosen this slip stitch, and I can just undo these last 2 stitches, and I can stop here. But I want to show y'all how you could add more stitches. So you loosen that slip stitch, yarn over, and you got your tail. That's why I tell people, leave enough that you can make a couple of stitches if you have to. All I need is 1 stitch. I got enough yarn, I could put 2 or 3. So I do 1 stitch, okay? And then you just pull your yarn through like that. And see, you just added another stitch to the end of your work. All right, so now we can go in and we can do this last shell into that stitch we just made. I pulled it. Hold on. There we go. Okay. And there we go. And then you chain up 2 or 3. I always chain up 2. And yarn over. That counts as your first double crochet. So yarn over. Let me see if we can get some speed going up in this joint. It might be the yarn, but and so okay, so yarn over, and you do on that first one you do 1 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And see, now you're going back all of your little chain 2 spaces. That's where you're going to do your work in. So you're just going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay. And so that's, you're making your chain 2 spaces. When you come back the other way, you're going to be going into that space, and you just do that all the way down. This, I don't know if it's a yarn. I'll try a different yarn later on, but I got to get ready for work at 7:30. So I just wanted to try this hook. I like the way it feels. I don't know if it's because it's a resin hook and this is acrylic yarn, or I'm just not used to it yet. But I like the way the hook feels. I like the end of the hook. I'm just having trouble picking up speed with this yarn. I don't know if it's the yarn or what. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's the yarn, because that yarn just split right there. Plus, it's like an awkward. I'm not usually leaning over my desk like this, trying to stay in the camera view either. Yeah, this yarn is splitting. So, part of why it's been sitting there wrapped up like that. So I use this stitch all the time for projects I want to do fast, like scarves, hats, um, baby blankets, because it makes its own border, its own edging. You don't have to do nothing else after you get done other than give it away. And you can also use this stitch as a border on projects. Okay. Yeah, it's the yarn. All right. And chain up 3 or 2. So it's up to you. I did 3 that time. Normally I just do 2. All right. And you turn your work and you do 1 double crochet in that chain 2 space. Chain 2, single crochet, and then you're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in each space across. Okay. So yeah, it's this yarn. This yarn is splitty. Let's see. All right, so this is Susan Bates, which is what I normally use, H hook, and it's metallic. So This thing rolls around a lot. And the Susan Bates hook isn't splitting the yarn, or either I got to the good part of the yarn. It's gonna take some getting used to using that Furls hook, I think. I've been using Susan Bates hooks since 1994. So I'm very used to the Susan Bates hooks. So no, it's the yarn. It's the yarn. It's splitting. But since I'm so used to the Susan Bates hooks, I can go a lot faster because I'm used to it. I just got to get used to the Furls hook. I think, well, this yarn almost made me want to throw it away if it wasn't for the colors in it. God. And the hook top reminds me of the knit picks. It's just pointier than the knit picks, but it's very similar, and it's not as deep as the knit picks. But yeah, it's pointier than a Susan Bates, but it has a similar angle here and similar shape. It's like a sharp down though. It's more parallel to the shaft, whereas this one is more curved. But it's just gonna take some getting used to, I think. And these hooks hold value, so if I really don't like it, I can always sell it for what I paid for it because they hold value very well. I don't like having hooks I'm not gonna use, or maybe it'll go into a shadow box. Do a shadow box, hang it up and put it in the room somewhere. I don't know, but I like this part of it. The way it feels in the hand, it's comfortable. It's ergonomically, it's comfortable. I like the fact that it's long because I have big hands, so I like the fact that it's a long hook. It's one of the reasons why I don't like those soft clover touch hook styles, because they dig into my palm and I end up with a sore palm because they're short. If you have small hands, then that's the hook. If you like those type of hooks, then more power to you. But I have big hands and I prefer a hook that's not going to be digging into my palms, or having to learn a new way to crochet holding the hook so it doesn't dig into my palms. That messes with my speed, and we don't want that. I like fast, easy projects because the purpose of the crochet for me is the mental aspect, something that you could just not even think about and just do. Just gotta figure out where my sweet spot is with this hook. And because I don't like having to slow down just to keep that edge from catching. That edge is pretty thin. I hope it don't. I'm a heavy-handed person, so I would hope it wouldn't snap. I think if that edge was a little bit more blunt, a little thicker, that it wouldn't catch this yarn so easily and split it. Because it's so sharp, it's like it's cutting right through the ply. And also I wonder how it's going to do with wool or silk product because of it. It's the acrylic. It's grabby right now. It's kind of grabby feeling, which means you don't have to worry about your yarn slipping around. It's just going to take some getting used to. So I'll just keep working on this scarf until I get to a point where I'm comfortable with this yarn, with this hook, and I can get up to speed. Overall, as far as comfort, the grip, I really like it. It's very comfortable in your hand. I can rest my thumb here on the shank right there. I just got to get used to the tip of the hook, and so it's not splitting the yarn. I got to get my twist and turn, so to speak, down pat with it, so I can build up some speed. It could be just the awkward nature of where how I'm trying to knit so that I stay in the camera. Crochet so I stay in the camera view. I don't sound like Fatty went back to sleep. Little chunk. And now that she's trying to crawl, we calling her Scoochie. Because she's trying to scooch across the bed. All right. There we go. All right, so I'll just keep practicing with it, and y'all might see me using it from time to time if I join a live with somebody, just to try and keep practicing using it. But overall, as far as the comfort of the grip and everything, it's great. I love it. Now the I'm not sure about the, but you can feel it. It's slightly etched in. So anybody got any advice about how well this stands up the writing? I mean, I could. I think I got some fingernail polish. I could put like a fingernail polish coating over that just to make it last longer. Um, what will happen if I just sit back? Yeah, I think I'll order one of the wood ones and see if there's a difference in the way they crochet um, compared to the resin one. Because I'm thinking that the wood tip will be slightly thicker than this acrylic one is. I mean, resin one is, and that maybe I won't get that splittiness. But like I said, overall, the way it feels and everything is awesome. I'm just not sure if it's I don't if it's this yarn. I'll do the other hook. Yeah, cause see, so yeah, I'm think I'm gonna order a wooden one and see if that's different, or either a metal um metallic one, and see if I like that better than the resin. Because yeah, I mean, if you're a slow crocheter or you like doing really complicated stitches or patterns where you have to actually go slow, then yeah, that that hook could be a great one as far as the edge on it and whatnot. Or even if you're doing like a amigurumi. But if you like speed, like me, I like to go fast. I like speed. Um, because that's what allows me to zone out where I don't have to look and pay attention to what I'm doing. And yeah, so yeah, I think I'll order a wood one, order no, probably the metal one, and see how that works out compared to that resin one. Yeah, I should have just ordered a metal one to start with, since that's mostly what I use is metal. But they're pretty. The resin one was so pretty. Mm. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you go. Overall, if I had to give it a rating from, I don't know, 0 to 10, I would give it a rating of 8, simply because of the tip. It could just be a production issue thing, or it just could be me not being used to the hook. But it feels good in my hand, so I don't think that's a problem with me. Like I said, that edge is really sharp, so it's separating the twist, separating into the strands of the fiber, and splitting out the ply, so it makes the yarn appear splitty, which is not. As you can see, I can get up to speed with this Susan Bates hook, which is metal. Um, I don't. I'll try it later on. I'll try it with some wool or cotton to see if it's simply because it's the acrylic. But I gotta get ready for work, so I don't have time to do it right now. Now you see what I'm talking about, this stitch, about how fast it is, and how easy it is, and you end up with this real pretty fabric. And the bigger hook you use, the more open and lacy it is, the chain 2 spaces. I like it like this for baby blankets and scarves because it's warmer, but you can make it look lacier than this by using a larger hook. And so it makes making scarves and stuff really fast. I've used it to make tops, but I always forget about the bust size. And so the 2 tops I've made the last couple of years, I've ended up giving away to my youngest daughter because I forgot about the boobage and increasing to accommodate that. But yeah. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go and get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing.